Transformed into an elegant and poised fake socialite, the heroine bound me with a mind-reading system to expose my pretentious facade. The heroine fought with me over a dress. I really want to eat an orange, but I must maintain my grace. I'll secretly eat it under the covers later. The genuine socialite heroine. The big shot wants to stand up for the real socialite me. That executive chair looks so comfortable, but the most important thing in life is dignity. Can't ask for the shopping link. I'll secretly take a photo and reverse image search it later. Big shot later, someone accused me of being falsely aloof. The real socialite. No, she genuinely doesn't care. 01 I really want to eat an orange, but I must maintain elegance. I'll secretly eat it under the covers later. Chloe, who snatched the more expensive gown, froze mid-smile. Long ago, the elegance and poise system approached me asking me to play the role of an elegant and composed supporting female character. I didn't have to do anything, just maintain grace and dignity at all times. I instinctively replied, sure. It said, good, you're already getting into character. After living this elegantly poised life for so long, I finally discovered that I was actually a fake socialite while the female lead was naturally the genuine one, Chloe. Before choosing a dress, she whispered, I'll make sure everyone sees your true colors. Mom came to let us choose. I didn't really care. Either one was fine with me. Zoe is so considerate, then let Mom pick for you. She nodded approvingly and pointed to the more expensive, ornate one. This clearly meant to make Chloe play the supporting role, yet Chloe snatched that very dress and spoke up first. Since little sister said, either is fine, then I'll take the one I like. Mom glared at her. Why are you rushing? You're not half as composed as your sister. Chloe seemed like a different person. She didn't feel the slightest bit of sadness, just stared at me defiantly. Yet I merely nodded. It's fine. The dress, oranges. Oh, I really want to eat some oranges. But I had to maintain my elegance. I'll sneak some under the covers later. The orange plan of deception, truly worthy of me. Mother fell silent for a moment, then patted my head. The child is perfect in every way except for being foolish. 02 Good news. I have a very wealthy fiancé. Bad news. Someone else told me about this arranged family marriage. A marriage contract stipulated in a family trust agreement. I pondered for a moment. That marriage partner couldn't possibly be me, right? Mother gave me a reproachful glance. Seeing Chloe show no particular reaction, she finally said, our situation is special. Let's just bring both children to meet him. What an eye-opener. Who knew there were still people living in the Victorian era these days? She actually got selected as the princess consort. How impressive of her. Mom smacked the back of my head. You don't understand. Julian Rose is young and promising, keeps himself clean. He's the best choice in the circle. If you can be with him, then Mom can rest easy. And so the next day we were brought before Julian Rose. The man looked at us with a hint of amusement in his voice. I heard one of you two is my intended marriage partner. So, which one is it? Mother pushed me from behind, signaling me to speak up. I did speak up. Well, this matter is a bit complicated. I've prepared a PowerPoint presentation. Maybe you should get the full picture first. Julian sneered. Upon hearing this, stood up and walked closer to me. No need. I've heard about you occupying the heiress position for so many years. You cuckoo in the magpie's nest. He leaned slightly forward, his shadow completely enveloping me, and continued. Why are you still staying with the Clark family? I lowered my head in silence, appearing deeply ashamed yet. His executive chair looks so comfortable, but maintaining dignity is what matters most. Can't ask for the shopping link. I'll just secretly take a photo and search for it later. Julian doesn't seem like he'll be sitting back down anytime soon. Maybe I could pretend to operate the computer while secretly sitting in his executive chair. So, I picked up the USB drive. When you really take a look, my PowerPoint is very detailed. 03 Sitting on the sofa, I gazed wistfully at the executive chair. It even has Will's weight. No, I must maintain elegance. How could I show interest in a chair with wheels and back support that looks so ergonomically perfect? Julian leisurely brewed. The engagement, I will honor it, but I don't wish my future wife to suffer any grievances therefore. He pushed the teacup toward me. What rightfully belongs to her. I hope you'll return it. Mother stood up. Zoe was raised by me. She is my daughter. You were the one who brought up the engagement. Now it's cancelled. We don't need it. Julian leaned back, leisurely brimming with confidence. I know you need my help. What about that project in the eastern suburbs? Her angry expression stiffened for a moment. So hot, it's burning me. I picked up the teacup. I set it down. After all, I'm officially certified as graceful and composed. Even when scalded, I must maintain my dignity. I quietly rubbed my hands together. Was this a power move? But drinking this would make me lose my voice. Better have a candy, then I can say I can't drink water later. So, I pretended nothing had happened, unwrapped a candy, and popped it into my mouth. When I looked up, the tense atmosphere from earlier had completely vanished. Seeing them staring at me, I wondered, was it because I hogged the candy for myself? So I took out the candy from my pocket and offered it. After I get kicked out, where should I set up my stall? Where's the busiest foot traffic? Chloe fell into deep self-doubt. Julian looked at me with a complicated expression. What exactly are you here for? This is called Tathagata. Wait a minute. With a serious expression, I hesitated for a long time before finally pulling a face out of my mouth. What's this? It's not candy, it's compressed face masks that expand and grow taller when soaked in water. Simply eating a face mask. How masky of me. No, even after eating a mask, one must maintain dignity. After 2 seconds of silence, I declared confidently, magic. 04 shouldn't he have said magic, should be said Tato instead. I washed my hands while silently fuming, only to turn around and find Chloe standing right behind me. She eyed me warily. Did you come back too? I glanced around uncertainly. Back where the restroom. Was she calling me shit? Seeing my genuine confusion, she frowned. Then why is it different now? Shouldn't you righteously tell him you want to marry, that all men are created equal and family bonds shouldn't be determined solely by blood ties? Didn't you want to catch his attention? Don't you love pretending to be morally superior while letting others deliver what you desire right into your hands? Is this what I should be doing? The difficulty level seems a bit high. Yes, one should maintain dignity, even when facing accusations. I'm being serious, but with what you're saying, I can't defend myself no matter how hard I try. She sneered. No matter what you say, I know your true colors. I won't let you succeed this time. I've been meaning to ask why. Is she the older sister? With a puzzled expression, she said, by all appearances, shouldn't I be the older sister? Oh, I remember now. Mom asked me back then whether I wanted to be the older sister or the younger one. I said indifferently either is fine. All right then, never mind. The next day, I stood outside the gate with my suitcase, yet couldn't bring myself to leave. Chloe sneered. You're not waiting for Mom to come back and beg you to stay, or you stop pretending like I'm the one kicking you out. You'd better beg me. Maybe I can find a way to let you stay. Before I could speak, a car pulled up in front of me. The window rolled down and Ethan Carter sneered. Well, if it isn't Zoe Clark, haven't seen you in days, look how far you've fallen. Kicked out, that rough, staring at your phone. Who are you waiting for? Couldn't be your fiancé, could it? Ethan Carter and I were childhood friends, though he unilaterally considered me his sworn rival. The main reason was that as kids we were practically like two left behind children. Being a girl, I developed faster and grew much taller than him. So I tricked him into believing I was his mother, and he actually fell for it. My bad, the kid was already a bit slow, and I had to go and tease him. Don't wait for him. Let us go. My mom wants you to come to my place. Chloe suddenly understood. So you've changed targets. Playing the victim was all for him, wasn't it? All that talk about sisterhood, I actually doubted myself, wondering if I'd misunderstood, but of course you're still the same as ever. What? Ethan flushed red for me. Acting, playing the victim. Cough. I won't be fooled by such clumsy tricks. It's like stubbornly insisting he wasn't deceived at all. He just loves spinning in circles. They kept talking one after another, and for a moment I didn't know which one to respond to. Stop gathering here. My takeout is about to arrive. You're all staring at me. How can I maintain my grace? Whatever, soon I can go work and have fun. Even when working, I must keep up appearances. 05. I've pretty much figured out the situation. A reincarnated female lead no doubt must be the original hostess, sins from a past life. Seems like all I need to do is stay elegant and quiet, staying out of her way. So, off we go to have fun, though I don't know if it's scripted guidance. Every time I work part-time I run into Chloe. Chloe takes photos with the giant mascot at the mall entrance from inside the costume. I weakly protest. It's not right for you to casually touch my belly like this. The parking lot was too far away. She and Julian got stranded at the scenic spot in the rain until I pulled up in front of them in my car. License plate ending with 8,966. The two of them stared at each other momentarily, too hesitant to get in the car. After a moment, as thought, I handed them an umbrella. 20 for one or 40 for two. The two were bungee jumping. Julian was just voicing his frustrations. She asked like a ghost, was it because I kicked her out? Is she coming after me? Chloe chuckled. Impossible, you're overthinking it. The staff member beside me lifted his hat brim and snorted, go die. With those words he reached out and pushed Julian down. A scream pierced the entire sky, startling the people still waiting in line behind. Wow, that scream's so intense. I turned to Chloe. You're up next. Chloe silently took a step back. What a rare and thrilling experience. He should be thanking me. After who knows how many dates, the two finally met at a cafe. I'm sorry, it seems I still don't have feelings for you. Not even the suspension bridge effect worked. Wait, Chloe quickly waved her hands. No, it's not your fault. I'm really grateful for your help as a friend, but
since you don't like me, why help me then?
Julian was silent for a moment before confessing. I learned about your circumstances, saw how resilient you were, so full of life. It reminded me of some things in my own family. That's why I wanted to help. Oh, I see. Her voice grew quiet. So that's why back then it was because I was too weak. Julian sighed. I'm sorry, I can't be with you, but it seems you don't have feelings for me either, do you? Chloe nodded. Don't worry, I promised I'd help you. I want to go back on my word. Buzz, click. A hand reached over and switched off the machine. Julian looked at me with an expression that was both exasperated and amused. Enough already. Let us talk. I pressed the switch. Without changing my expression, the ice cubes were instantly pulverized into shaved ice with a buzzing sound. No one can stop me from working, no one. 06. So, he actually waited until I got off work. Is your car here? He asked me. Yeah, what is up? Let us talk in your car. I had the driver take her home first. I thought for a moment, then nodded hesitantly. That's fine, but my bike doesn't have a back seat. You'll have to sit on the rear rack. This is so hard to ride. Can I cycle with dignity? Forget, I'll be direct. I have some sleep disorders, but I've noticed that every time I meet you I sleep very well. I want to hire you. After understanding his meaning, I was a bit confused. He meant that I had annoyed him to the point of fainting. But he actually enjoyed the feeling of being annoyed to unconsciousness. At that moment Ethan pushed the door open. You can't agree to this. He placed the object in his hand on the table, blocking our line of sight. Ethan repeated again, don't agree to him, because you have to agree to me first. I stared at the ceramic artwork on the table, recalling how over the years he had obsessively sent me these things and couldn't help but sigh. He really does love ceramics. Ethan froze for a moment before exploding in anger. Zoe, you block of wood, do you really only have two modes, oblivious and completely numb? There's another possibility that he is genuinely insane. Ethan, Julian, would you honor me with a meal? Julian said, let's discuss this in detail. My mouth moved on muscle memory. Whatever. Ethan grumbled. No, I'm hungry. You're coming with me first. Not wishing to argue with a child, Julian maintained remarkable patience. I wasn't planning to say anything unspeakable. You're welcome to join us. If you'd like, I'll call to reserve 3 seats shortly. The person who had been blocking us finally seemed satisfied, but just as we were about to depart, Julian stood up from his seat, swayed slightly, and suddenly collapsed straight to the ground. Shit, Ethan was startled and hurried to support him. Quick, call 911. I nodded. Alright, I'll inform them to remove one seat. Ethan, this is the number to call since it's 2 seats now. Wouldn't it be cheaper to just order a couple set meal? Ethan, who had been struggling to hold on, fell silent for a moment before slowly, very slowly, laying the person down on the ground. Looking up, he urged me, why aren't you calling? Don't know the number. Fine, I'll do it. 07. When Julian woke up in the hospital, I said, you're awake. Congratulations, the surgery was a success. You've completely forgotten that you were a toaster. The shred of humanity left in us made us take him to the hospital. The result was he was just sleeping. I couldn't. He figured out perhaps it's a cultural difference. Where I'm from, we don't usually call being unconscious sleeping. The CEO, as special assistant who arrived belatedly, heaved a deep sigh of relief upon learning that his boss was fine. He told us about his recent schedule. Ethan silently took a seat. What's wrong with him? He sounded a bit tired. I'll sit for a while. I've come to admire how even the wealthy have to be wage earners too. Wait, does he really have to do everything himself? What's the point of paying a team then? If Julian spends his days dating, he worked twice as hard at night to make up for lost time. And his so-called sleeping well merely meant getting 4 to 5 hours of uninterrupted sleep without being startled awake even once. Now Julian was awake. He was just about to speak when Ethan said, no need to thank me, just stay away from her in the future. That'll be thanks enough. He opened his mouth again. I don't worry, Ethan, cut in. I won't tell anyone about you passing out in public. Finally giving up on words, Julian resorted to action. Instead, with an expressionless face, he pulled another face right out of his mouth. The scene felt eerily familiar. Ethan was utterly shocked. What the hell? I felt extremely guilty right back then. I thought he was having low blood sugar. Why is this still in my pocket? I'll throw it away when I get back. Don't worry, even if I ate the face mask, I'd still maintain my dignity. I get it. So I started clapping and exclaimed in admiration, amazing. Ethan didn't understand the situation, but clapped along in confusion, muttering, "Br brilliant." Julian silently threw the face mask into the trash and wiped his hands with a wet wipe. I tried to comfort him. It's okay. Did you know the average person swallows about 8 spiders a year while sleeping? Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Life doesn't have that many spectators anyway. Unless this is a book where everyone reading up to this point would mock him in the comments, but how could that be possible? He lay back on the bed, closed his eyes, and pulled the covers over himself. He looked utterly serene, as if he were covering himself for the rest of his life. It seems I've been angered into unconsciousness again. 08. I've been hired, officially introduced as Julian S. Special Assistant. Since Mom asked me, of course, I agree. Julian, your request is rather outrageous, but your money makes up for it somewhat. After careful logical consideration, I've come to the preliminary conclusion that this guy must be a bit of a pervert. No way, I need to find a way to sabotage this. So he looked at my notes and pointed out my outrageous metaphorical phrases. True to his name, his profile picture was a garlic bulb, and his tone was just as pungent. His bulldog-like wrinkled face broke into a sly grin. He acts like a box of chocolates. You open it expecting either sweetness or nuts, but take a bite, and it's pickled cabbage filling. Turns out he wants nothing at all, just stirring the pot out of sheer boredom. Tell him to stop with the analogies. Come to work on a full stomach next time. And another thing, he interrupted again. Garlic head, don't act so high and mighty. Everyone knows you're keeping a mistress behind your wife. As back, the bulldog made no reply, picking his nose instead. This is a shareholders meeting, not a reality show. Backstage, don't record everything. Me, withered rose, JPG. Him, fine, you can take notes if you want, but filter them before giving them to me. Me, boss, what I meant was bows. I'm sorry, withered rose, JPG. Him, today, Julian brought out an induction cooker from his laptop bag during the meeting. Julian, expressionless, said to everyone, just a little joke. Zoe, go to my office and get the notebook. He paused, then added, computer, the laptop. 09. Back in the office, he was about to say something when his peripheral vision caught the coffee table. He froze. Where's my tea? Where did my entire tea set go? Here, I said, pulling out a Starbucks cup. Boss, drinking scalding hot liquids increases your risk of esophageal cancer. Sigh, if I don't push myself to the limit, I'd never know I could work like a beast of burden. Just fire me already. It'll be a relief for both of us. Wait a minute, he's not going to faint, is he? Or just suddenly fall asleep? Yet to my surprise, Julian didn't say a word. He simply took the iced coffee from my hands, inserted the straw, and started drinking. What you did today was munch, munch, munch. Too much munch, munch. You can't do this again. Munch, 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 munch. What's inside, if not pearls? I recommend they're popping boba. He nods. Oh. I lowered my head, sniffing around. Where's my lunch? I pointed at his desk. On your desk. I ordered you fried chicken. To be honest, this fried chicken is really delicious. Too bad I have to maintain an elegant image and can't eat it often. He sighed and lay down on the sofa, collapsing right there like a corpse. Go ahead and eat. I'm going to nap first. He looked genuinely pitiful, as if he'd fainted from anger again. Sleep, then you want to feel hungry when you're asleep, that kind of vibe. He has to sleep. Can I secretly sit in his boss chair now? Wow, so comfortable. By the time he wakes up, I'll have his usual takeout from that restaurant he likes already set on the table. Eat up, just don't let my boss starve to death. 10. Julian had business drinks tonight. I fished the drunkard out and brought him home. He was very well behaved, completely docile from start to finish, letting me handle him however I pleased. Looking at him sprawled on the sofa with one arm dangling limply, I thought to myself, he is still quite handsome. Just as I was thinking I should at least help him take off his jacket, the disposable gloves that came with the fried chicken fell to the floor as I leaned over. I've been meaning to complain about this. Why do they have to package it like this? Luckily, he has to sleep, otherwise, if he saw this, I'd be at a complete loss for words. How could I possibly explain it away? I picked up the gloves and straightened up, only to see the person who had been peacefully sleeping now wide awake. His gaze first swept over the object in my hand, then leisurely settled on my face. Well, yes, I did intend to mess things up, but not necessarily in that way. Blinking, I decisively tore open the packaging, slipped on the gloves, and reached for the slippers. New sleep-inducing service. Don't hold back, beat your boss mercilessly until he falls into deep sleep. Well, are my shoes beautiful? At that moment, he opened his mouth. Actually, you don't need to do anything, nothing at all. Then why did you hire me? He adjusted his sleeping position, nestling in more comfortably. I don't know, it seems just being by my side is enough. I must be dreaming. I've become an emotional support dog. He let out a low chuckle, his thoughts seemingly slower than usual. After a delayed reaction, he finally spoke. After my father betrayed my mother, her mental state deteriorated. He had a child out of wedlock, and she blamed it all on me, believing I wasn't good enough, that my inadequacy drove him to infidelity and to dote on his illegitimate child. Wait, stop, you're not in your right mind right now. You don't know what you should or shouldn't he say. He merely paused briefly before continuing. After the divorce, she didn't take me with her. Later she remarried, and her mental health improved significantly. She had another child, a child she treated with genuine kindness. When I visited her, she actually guarded herself against me. She fears I might harm her child, but clearly I am her child too. I somewhat understand why he helped Chloe. He empathized with her. I sighed. You'll regret this when you wake up tomorrow morning. 11. He looked at me. Don't you have anything to say? Should I say something? I'm confused. I don't know, maybe sympathy, or that look like you understand everything. I thought you'd advise me to understand her, forgive her, or tell me that child is innocent, something like that. Julian, do you know what I'm thinking right now? He tilted his head slightly, remained silent for 2 seconds, then said, you don't care. How did you know that? Amazing. I continued along with his words. Julian, I don't care whether you'll understand her, or understand that child. Your mother was also confused back then, but compared to you at that time she was definitely not the weaker one. That child is innocent, but you're also innocent. Whether you understand or not, forgive or not, I think both are reasonable choices, but which side things ultimately lean towards depends entirely on you. Do you understand? I'm not you. I haven't lived through your past. I have no right to advise you. No one has the right to tell you whether to forgive or not. If I casually influence your judgment, that would be irresponsible. Fundamentally, no one else cares about this matter except you. If someone advises you, just listen, focus on your own thoughts, because this matter has nothing to do with others. They casually say their piece, then go back to living their own lives while you're the one who ultimately bear the consequences. If someone pressures you, don't take it to heart, because either the matter concerns their own interests, making them inherently biased, or they simply want to voice an opinion without ever taking responsibility for your life. Whatever. Why am I talking to a drunk? The one who had been quietly listening all along murmured. So that's why you're so indifferent about everything, why you indulge Chloe like this. That's exactly why I feel so at ease. He closed his eyes. If you don't know what to do, then read. Zoe, will you read to me for a while? You don't need to do anything unnecessary. I'm hiring you to be my friend. Is that alright? He must be thoroughly drunk, I thought, yet still casually picked a book from a shelf. I read beside him until he fell completely asleep. 12. It was already very late when I returned home. Arriving at my apartment, I found someone standing downstairs. Ethan turned around. One look at his face, and I understood everything. He has been drinking. What's going on? Why is everyone drunk today? How much? I asked. He pinched his thumb and forefinger together. Just a little, he gestured. Doesn't he look like just a little? I said, pulling out my phone to call him a cab. He leaned in like a puppy. Am I the first to wish you a happy birthday? It had just passed midnight. My message list was empty. No one had timed their birthday greetings for this exact moment. Me where you are, but why come all the way here in person? Couldn't you just send a message? He stared at me intently and said earnestly, I couldn't wait until morning. I wanted to see you right now. You've seen me now, so hurry home. Soon, don't make your parents worry. He looked somewhat aggrieved. Zoe, you're really such a blockhead. I looked at him with a half smile. Ethan, do you like me? He let out an ah, then pinched his fingers together again to indicate a small distance, just a little. After some thought, the distance between gestures grew slightly larger, just a tiny bit more. I've seen plenty. We're the kind of friends who witnessed each other moving like malfunctioning robots during PE class. That you'd still develop feelings for me is beyond my expectations. I should maintain my elegance all along, but the truth is I quite like him. What should I do? Ethan's eyes suddenly lit up. Aren't you going to invite me up? Your place must be quite spacious, right? The car arrived just then. I shoved the person inside. No way, my place doesn't take in drunkards. Come talk to me when you're sober. The next day I took time off work. Julian cautiously asked, was it because I offended you yesterday? Not at all, I said. I'm going to the Cheesecake Factory for my birthday. Say goodbye to all your troubles. I met up with Chloe, who pointed at the person behind her. What are you doing here? Didn't you get enough to eat at the birthday party tonight? Chloe and I are both socialites, real or fake, so naturally our birthdays fall on the same day. Julian, the so-called workaholic, is skipping out today to eat cheesecake. Seems he really wanted that cheesecake. Julian. 13. Julian helped Chloe before, so Chloe couldn't refuse him. And he has the nerve to call others ghosts, she muttered under her breath. Thank you, I slept very well last night. Watching Chloe's expression instantly turned strange. His way of speaking is so ambiguous, it's as if there is something between us. I know Chloe must have misunderstood, and is coming to confront me. You're slandering me like this. I don't know what to say. What kind of decency is this? Me out of courtesy. The average price for psychological counseling is $150 per hour. I've read for half an hour 75 is an unlucky number. I hand over my payment QR code. Boss, pay up for yesterday as friendship fee, a modest 100 please. Without any hesitation, he scans the code and transfers 10,000. Let's start with 100 days first, we'll settle the difference later. I looked presentable. The server at the Cheesecake Factory entrance immediately went on high alert when they saw me carrying a cake. Attention, attention, a guest with a cake has arrived. She trotted over to me with an enthusiastic smile, hello dining in, and who's the guest of honor today? So I pointed and said it's just the two of us. Oh, okay, no problem. So while we were happily eating, the waitstaff gathered around us. How does ISN to what I heard shouldn't they be playing that really loud birthday song? Or is this just the prelude? Amidst a tacky love ballad, Chloe and I received everyone's blessings. Best wishes to you both, clap, 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 you'll definitely be happy, applause, applause, applause. Oh wow, such sincere blessings, no, the sincerity feels almost overwhelming. Whatever the prosperity preachers on TV have been wishing me wealth for years, and I'm still broke, what one more? The kid's face is all red, I knew they'd never had a proper birthday celebration before today, gonna be lively. Julian, wait a moment, 14. Minor incidents, all just minor incidents, the birthday party tonight calls for formal attire, but no one knows the three of us already secretly gathered for a round at the Cheesecake Factory at noon. Everyone firmly believes Julian will honor the engagement. Meanwhile, I've been kicked out of the family, so there's no doubt about who his bride will be. Some even speculate in hushed tones that tonight's event is actually meant to announce the engagement, making this birthday party unprecedentedly lively. Thus, Chloe finds herself surrounded by crowds, most hoping to curry favor with Julian through her. You've already been kicked out of the Clark family, yet you still have the nerve to come back. I heard she's about to start delivering takeout, how embarrassing. Yeah, and I heard she turned down the advances of the Ford family as second son. Who does she think she is putting on such airs? The second son of the Ford family, a notorious playboy who changes girlfriends as often as he changes clothes. He asked if I wanted to be with him, promising a life of luxury as long as I behaved. I told him to get the hell away from me, the speaker said with a sarcastic tone. She has got quite the skills, acts all indifferent, but tell me what hasn't she gotten her hands on when she wanted it? We could never learn that. Chloe frowned. Enough. She's not that kind of person. You don't know her, so stop talking nonsense. Afraid I might overthink. Mom quickly grabbed my hand. Zoe, don't take what they said to heart. How could Mom ever drive you away? I'll bring you back home after some time. I patted her reassuringly and said casually, it's fine, Mom, they don't understand me, nor do they understand us. I don't care, there's nothing shameful about delivering takeout. I can't be bothered to care. I don't give a damn about what they say, because I'm utterly unshakable. Julian approached. If you need a male companion, I'm up to the task. This was clearly meant to boost my social standing. Others might find it strange. The same man who forced Mother to kick me out is now trying to shield me from gossip. But I know better to him. These are two entirely separate matters. Return what belongs to Chloe and stand up for her friend. He drew a clear line. Suddenly, someone lifted the hem of my overly long dress. You just let yourself be bullied like that, being your attendant for a day. Don't thank me. Ethan looked at me, his cheeks slightly flushed. You said I should say it again. When I'm sober, you're not teasing me, are you? I look at him, then at my mother. How is this any different from being spawn camped? 15. Stealing the spotlight only makes you a target. Which one is it? Wasn't it the girl they recently brought back? No, I heard it was the one they kicked out. Haven T noticed T South been keeping her close lately. Doesn't T matter? We've caught them both. At least one must be the right one. Our phones confiscated, eyes blindfolded, mouths gagged. Chloe and I listened as they discussed. Another left turn. I recognized this direction. Now I know who's behind this. Noticing the person beside me trembling slightly, I sighed inwardly. How old is she? It's normal to be scared. I tilted my head and gently bumped mine against hers. Don't be afraid. We've been dumped in an abandoned factory. It's extremely remote with traces of homeless people having lived here. With my eyes and mouth finally free, my heart instantly sank. Not a single one wore a mask. Their meaning couldn't be clearer. Even if kidnapped, we must maintain our dignity. Let us buy some time for the police to rescue us. The plot is truly, yet several people converse as if no one else is around, saying things like, since we're all going to die, anyway, might as well let me have some fun first. My expression suddenly turned icy. 6 people, quick hands, all killed. Hope the police officers come quickly to collect the bodies, no, to clean up the mess. TCH, what a bullshit plot. Whether they succeeded or not, it's all bullshit. Perhaps because they thought 2 girls couldn't cause much trouble, they only left 2 people to guard us. I took a soft breath, getting into the zone. What are you doing? She leaned in close to whisper in my ear, it's dangerous, don't worry. Look, I turned my back to her and opened my palm. She even doubted herself for a moment before hesitantly asking, see what? Look, my hands are tied behind my back. I can't do anything. My lifeline is so long, nothing will happen to me. She was about to say something when she suddenly held her breath. Of course I knew why, because, using her figure as cover, I was gently prying open the hidden clasp with my fingernail. The nylon zip tie binding my wrists quietly came undone. Fortunately, it was this type of restraint, otherwise dislocating my thumb would been quite painful. 16. I put on an arrogant demeanor. How could you handle things this way? Didn't Derek Young tell you not to lay hands on me? Casually. Both men froze momentarily, exchanging glances. Derek Young, also known as Garlic Head, was precisely the maternal uncle of Julian's illegitimate younger brother. I'd seen at Julian's place that this abandoned factory belonged to him. This was all about clearing obstacles for his nephew. Back when we made the agreement, our collaboration to eliminate Julian, have his nephew take over, and deal with Chloe, I was supposed to become the Clark family's sole heiress. What does this mean now? Give me the phone. I need to call him and ask him directly. Also untie me. These zip ties are killing me. My domineering attitude was so self-righteous that one person dumbly nodded and approached to cut me loose. But another suddenly said, Mackie, don't untie her yet. Let me make a call to clarify things first. The man lowered his head to operate his phone. I suddenly swung my hand from behind my back and flung the handful of sand I'd just grabbed from the ground right into my G's face. Fuck, he instinctively covered his eyes, clutching the scissors as he staggered back 2 steps. Protecting the scissors, afraid I'll snatch them at a time like this, he'd be better off randomly stabbing a few times to give me a real headache. TCH, why am I analyzing this instinctively? A makeshift stove built from broken bricks remained uncleared. I crouched down and grabbed one. At times like this, blunt weapons should be the first choice, or at least something that can break bones. Before I couldn't be bothered to argue. Now, I can't be bothered with words. Since you refuse to act with dignity, I'll help you find some. I smashed a brick expressionlessly onto Mikey's head. Sigh, if only I had a hammer. Room 17 has good soundproofing. Taking out 2 didn't alert the others. Alright, it's over now. The zip ties binding Chloe were undone. I secretly loathed the filth on me, but she hugged me tightly, without a second thought. I patted her back. Oh, dear, you're terrified. It's alright now. I pulled out the phone naturally. It was password protected. To prevent them from waking up too soon, I gave each of their heads a kick, so hard I might as well have planted them in the ground. They probably wouldn't be getting up anytime soon. After a moment, as thought, I crouched down and pried open his eyelids. Click it open, modern technology, kid. I reported to the police via text message, sending my current address. At the same time, I messaged Julian, telling him not to foolishly come alone. With Chloe in tow, escaping would be difficult. Now, all I had to do was stall for time and wait for rescue. If that doesn't work, we'll have to kill them one by one. Suddenly, Chloe asked me, "You're not her, are you?" I froze. Neither admitting nor denying felt right, so what I should say is, "I don't know what you're talking about," but before I could even feign confusion, she wrapped her arms around my waist. "I'm sorry, I never told you. Actually, I've been reborn. After my rebirth, I obtained a golden finger. Just by binding it, I could make the so-called main characters hear my inner thoughts. I used it on you, Mio. No. Why didn't anyone remind me?" I left the mic open. "Kids, this isn't funny. 18, you're nothing like her. I only approached you before because I thought you were her. I'm sorry. I actually don't dislike you. Perhaps we could." I raised my hand to stop her here. As the thing, I know this should be a touching moment of confession and heartfelt connection, but there's just one small problem. The system's voice rang out. "Aren't you the most suitable person for this mission? How could you fail? Oh my god, why is the heroine's cheat ability working on you? I just don't have many desires. That doesn't mean I genuinely don't care about anything, okay?" I was a little exasperated. "I'll find a way to help you." The voice cut off, abruptly replaced by an emotionless mechanical tone. Warning, character persona not maintained, severe OOC affecting plot progression, electric shock, punishment imminent. I knew there'd probably be punishment when I acted seriously. Your system tasks are outsourced, and your punishments are so cliché. Clearly an old school system. The moment I finished speaking, my legs gave way, and Chloe caught me. "Hey," she was panicking. "What's wrong? What kind of punishment is this?" The pain made me instinctively grip her forearm, before struggling to release it, my trembling hand burying itself in my hair. "I'm fine. My only task is to play a role. I have no obligation to maintain the plot, right? Besides, your plot is utterly terrible, complete nonsense." Feeling the noticeably intensified electric shock, I let out a muffled groan. TSK settling personal scores. A red interface indicating mission failure surrounds me. Exposing the agent's identity affects the small world's progress. Mission failed. Immediate termination imminent. How long can I stay? Numbers appear on the interface. 60. 2 months. That's not too bad. The numbers begin to change. 59, 58. I remember the principle I gave you about high-speed countdowns when I was little. Oh my god, I haven't even spent all my money yet. I quickly pressed Mom's number, thought about it, but still didn't dial. She doesn't answer calls from strangers. If she finds out later that this call was for me, she'll think it was all her fault. I'm sorry, it's my fault. It's all me." Chloe trembled at a complete loss. What should I do? What should I do? What can I give to keep you?" "Chloe, look at me." I forced those tear-filled eyes to meet mine. "This isn't your fault, okay? You're the only one who knows the truth. I need you to calm down and tell Julian this isn't his fault either. I shouldn't ask anything of you, but will you take care of Mom for me? Can you do that?" She nods. I will. "Don't worry, I won't die. I'm just leaving this place. Then I'll go back to settle accounts." But she let out a sob, her tears soaking the fabric over my chest. "Sister." Hearing the address ID longed for day and night, and seeing the countdown with about 20 seconds remaining, I sighed. "I'll find you." When I uttered that name, the one I hadn't spoken aloud since crossing into this world. 948664. I know I was wrong. Can you help me? System, my system has finally appeared. Finally realized my importance. He paused, then let out a sharp screech. "What the hell? How did you secretly hook up with so many systems behind my back?" I was wrong. 19. Back when I was on a mission, I ignored the system's warnings and ended up in danger. Although everything turned out fine in the end, he still got angry with me. I apologized, but he only got angrier. "You're not sincere at all. You're just brushing me off. You don't care about me one bit." To show that I genuinely cared about him, I sent him a ridiculously viral meme. Hilarious. "Let me show you just how much I care about his feelings." Then my system went completely cold on me and decided to hibernate. "Come find me again when you truly realize your mistake and understand my importance." He gritted his teeth, hating me, yet the elegant and composed system admired me, so I stole him right from under his nose. However, though 948664 claimed to be dormant, a set of data still followed me around. Not remembering that he as part of the system following me around every day, a bit silly, gets angry when teased, but still sticks to me after the tantrum, often shoving strange pottery at me. I thought it was just a habit passed down from a system making days, but turns out it was affection. Ethan doesn't know my space is filled with the digital trinkets he molded. His taste never changed. Before choosing the dress, she whispered, "I'll make sure everyone sees your true colors." The system hasn't retrieved Ethan's data yet. When he remembers it, LL be quite a scene. For now, I can only obediently admit my mistake. I didn't mean to, it just slipped out, I'm sorry, but you know you're the only system I recognize. I want to be erased, but if I'm left alone this body will surely be lost. But with 948,664 around it's different. Of course now you see how reliable I am. Don't you just wait, I'll go cut off all these online romances of yours. So, I survived 948664, just love spinning in circles, right? Julian opened the door with his entourage and sunlight streamed inside. I spread my palm open toward Chloe and said with a smile, see, I told you my lifeline is long. Sister stayed behind, no more crying now, the end.